So I figured while you were waiting for my compression stockings video that I'd give you some of my old footage. This footage is from January, so it is old, but it's still hopefully very informative, and maybe you'll get a chuckle or two out of it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Thought I was going to film outside today, but I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Hey everyone, so I'm trying out this new tripod for your iPhone kind of thing. So if I'm a little crooked, I apologize, but I'm trying something new. What I wanted to talk about today was NCS and being sick. I was feeling a little under the weather on Christmas Eve. I had a little bit of a cough, but I'm like, I'm fine. And what ended up happening was I woke up on Christmas Day with a chest cold. And it is now the 11th of January, and I'm still sick. The only difference being that instead of having a chest cold, I have developed a case of bronchitis. But I was thinking that this would be an excellent opportunity to talk about NCS and how that affects your sickness experience, as it were, and how you being sick might be different from someone else being sick. So I actually did pretty well the first week of being sick. I was pretty active. I was on vacation and like, heck no, I'm gonna do all the things I want to do despite the fact I'm sick. And so I ended up actually having a really good time. But I wore myself out during my vacation, so when I came home, I was tired. And so that's really when I think that the being sick, chest cold, the phlegm in your lungs, all that stuff really got a kickstart. And then 4 days ago, I think, it turned into bronchitis. So I thought I'd talk about a couple different things that I did that you shouldn't do, and the things that you should do when you're sick, or be more aware of. Something that I didn't do when I got sick, and in the course of being sick, I'm still sick. So because I was on vacation, and then when I got home, I had a whole bunch of stuff to do because I was gone, and hang out with buddies and all of that in the new year, and so I didn't get a lot of sleep, and so I ended up going to bed pretty late at night, early in the morning, several times in a row over the course of the week of being home. So I think that's partially why I've been sick this long. It's just that I just haven't been sleeping enough. So something that you need to remember when you're being sick is that when you are sick, you need sleep probably more than the average sick person. So make sure that you're sleeping a good amount of hours, but also remember to take naps as well. I found that I kind of take what me and my family call our auto naps, where there's no fighting it off. You have like a certain amount of time to figure out where it is you're gonna sleep, but you're sleeping either way, and it's like kind of like this heaviness, and the eyes start to cross and they won't focus, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go, bye. So that's my auto naps, but I think that it is important to nap while you're sick if you can. I know there's a lot of people that don't like to nap, but I do think it's recommended. Something else that I didn't do while I was sick, when I got sick, was that I tried to do too many things, because despite the fact that I have NCS, I have a really hard time staying still, and I have a hard time just kind of chilling in my house and doing nothing for a couple days. So I kept doing what I always do, and I ran my errands, and I did the things I needed to do, and I didn't really take the time to rest. And so I think that's another reason why I've been sick, is the fact that I really haven't given myself time to really kick this thing, I guess. And I think that a major factor of why I got sick in the first place, and why I haven't been getting better as quickly as I'd like, is that every time I've had a major episode, like I mentioned in my previous video, is that my immune system seems to go down. It's almost like it's like a blown fuse, or like when your fuse box gets switched off. But basically, it takes a while for it to kind of kickstart again. So every time I've gotten or I've had a major episode, I've gotten sick pretty much right afterwards. So it really wasn't too unexpected for me to get sick. So something for every one of you to be aware of is that there is a possibility that your immune system does tend to go down and not be as strong as it usually is. And so a good thing to do would be, drinking a lot of tea with honey, because it's a natural antibiotic, and a lot of vitamin C and a lot of water, which I know you all are already doing. But basically do what you would usually do to prevent getting sick. Wash your hands more. Just be extra aware that you may not be as protected from getting viruses and whatnot as you usually would. I know it's very difficult to hydrate when you're sick. I know that when I'm sick, I lose my appetite. I don't drink as much as I need to. And so that can be really difficult when you have NCS to not be getting enough water, but be sick. So be aware that you're gonna be more of kind of like a tank low. So don't go jumping out of bed, jumping off the couch, anything that would have that extreme orthostatic change in your blood pressure. And so just be more aware that that is going to be more of an issue. Now, if you find that you are really low and you are feeling really bad and you feel like your NCS is bad enough where you're not really going to be able to fight off whatever you've got as effectively as you can because you are so sick, I would recommend talking to your doctor. I talked to mine and basically said, when I have these episodes, I go to the ER, I get a couple bags of saline, and I'm good to go. So could I do that in advance? If I feel like I'm going to have an episode, can I go to, an urgent care or an ER and go, hey, this is what I've got. I have dysautonomia. I feel like I'm going to faint. Can you give me some saline? And she said that I could absolutely do that. She said, don't go to an urgent care, at least in my state. I don't know how it is with everyone else. But she said, don't go to an urgent care because when it comes to urgent cares, if it has anything to do with the heart, lungs, or eyes, the really important stuff, they don't want you to keel over and die on the doorstep. So just go to the ER and basically say, I'm sick with X, Y, or Z. I have dysautonomia. I'm having a really hard time. I think I'm going to pass out. Can I have some saline? And it's salt water. What are they going to do? But if you do feel like you are really having a hard time while you're sick and having a lot of NCS symptoms, that would be my recommendation. Because you can either head off at a pass and walk into the ER, or you can wait, pass out, get more sick, and end up getting a not so free ride to the ER. So those are some of the things that you shouldn't do when you get sick, and some things that I think you should do. And if you have any specific questions or comments, leave them in the description box below. And I have created an email for which you may contact me, and I will leave it in the video afterwards. But if you have any questions that you're not necessarily wanting to put out in the comments where it has something like personal information or contact information, that would be the way to contact me. So I hope this video was helpful.